Hello my fashion lovers, I'm back with a new fashion video. So last weekend, famous Nigerian actors Ruby Ojiakor and Moc Madu tied the knot with a lavish white wedding. The wedding, which was the talk of town, shook the internet and had lots of chaos and drama. The looks at the wedding were equally chaotic and dramatic. While some were giving high-end couture, the others were giving dime-minute cut and sew. In today's video, let's see what your favorites were and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 and also see the best and worst dressed. So starting strongly, we have Charles Bourne in this assemblage by Don Willie Clothing. So he had on this tan suit jacket paired with a matching pants and a white dress shirt. He styled the look with brown leather shoes and a brown tie and completed the look with a pair of tinted glasses. So I believe he was one of the groomsmen and they all opted for this soft color scheme featuring neutral shades. It's a very effortless and clean look and exuded minimalism. I like the fact that he didn't do too much and it's a classic white wedding look. The entire assemblage looked very dashing and I would rate this look a solid 8. Next, we have internet warrior Angela Okorie in this ensemble. So she had on this sparkly butterfly-inspired blouse with a plunging neckline and tiny straps. She paired the blouse with this high-waisted skirt with high slits and completed the ensemble with its brown shawl. She styled the look with gold jewelry, dark shades, and a black and gold handbag. So her look was quite skimpy, but not entirely provocative, and I like how she added the shawl. I feel this shawl added some sort of coverage and refinement, as well as a timeless touch. This sparkly butterfly illusion the blouse had was also very interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of the handbag though. It looked a bit loud in my opinion and something more subtle would have complemented this look better. Anyway, she still looked very beautiful and I'd rate this look a solid 7 out of 10. Next, we have co-actor Luchy Donalds in custom Comel Salo. So she had on this orange number that featured lace bodice and sleeves that were embellished with crystals and stones. She styled the dress with this elegant gold jewelry set encrusted with diamonds. For accessories, she opted for a gold clutch and a dainty bangle and completed the look with this black gele. So she looked really sensational in this piece and I love how she blended the soft silk and lace. I also like how she styled the look with gold accessories that were beautifully embellished and elevated the look. The entire look was so stunning and fits her so well. I would rate this look a solid 8. Next, we have Lydia Lawrence in custom Rosie Young styled by Mickey Crate. So she had on this fitted blouse with an off-shoulder neckline and asymmetrical hem and floral details. She paired the blouse with a matching fitted skirt and styled the look with a gold clutch and a pair of gold stilettos. For her jewelry, she opted for gold jewelry and dark shades and completed the look with a simple gele. So her look was quite simple but very elegant and fit her like a glove. I also like her choice of accessories, nothing too extra loud, and it all complemented the look. She was serving simplicity and opulence in this ensemble and I'd rate this look a solid 7 out of 10. Okay, now ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves because things are about to get chaotic here because waiting this one carry for head. So I believe she's an actor as well and she's called Adaezee Luke and this ensemble was by Omarils Apparel. She was serving us extravaganza in this heavily detailed jumpsuit that had all the details imaginable. The jumpsuit featured beadwork, shoulder pads and this stuff at the hem of the sleeves. She styled the jumpsuit with a flamboyant fascinator, a dramatic hand fan and a pair of chandelier earrings. So the entire look was very busy and all over the place and looked very messy. The details on the jumpsuits lacked a focal point and were clashing badly. I feel when working with strong colors like this, it's safer to go for a simpler style to soften the look a bit. The accessories on the other hand were too chaotic and were struggling for attention. I don't like the entirety of this look, from the color palette to the tailoring down to the styling. They were all seeking attention. The entire look needed major alterations and a proper stylist, so I'd rate this look a solid 3 for efforts made. Next, we have Ekene Umenwa in this look by Beryl Signature. So she had on this beaded blouse with an asymmetrical neckline paired with a floor-length skirt. She styled the ensemble with gold jewelry and black accessories that went well with the ensemble. So I kind of like the blouse, but I feel the skirt looked very unflattering, both silhouette-wise and the details. I wish I had gone for something a bit more defined because the silhouette was a bit confusing. I like her modesty though, no pick-me cleavage or risky slits, but it's an exceptional look. The entire look felt quite flat in my opinion and had no striking detail. It's like an average look overall, so I'd rate this look a solid 5. Next, we have Chinelo Nwaa in this interesting ensemble. So she had on this gown with lots of unnecessary details that clearly did not go well together. She styled the gown with a custom hand fan with her name inscribed on it, alongside drop earrings and this unique gele. So I don't know who tailored this look, but I believe the person secretly hates her or just has mediocre skill. The embellishments looked poorly finished and the details had no rhythm. The details were clearly beefing and minding their own businesses, which made this look less visually appealing. The entire look evidently had potentials but was badly executed, so I'd rate this look a solid 4. Next, we have Chioma serving us structure in this look courtesy of Fini Couture. So she had on this intricately embellished corseted number with a dramatic skirt. The gown had this interesting tiered fishtail that gave the look a more spicy flair. So it's an eye-catchy look and it's also very avant-garde. I like what they did with the silhouettes, but I don't think the tiers were really necessary and that took away from the look in my opinion. I feel that structured stuff should have extended to the hem, that's like the bottom. And even if they wanted to make that lower part flared, they could have done that without making it tiered. Anyway, she still looked very striking in this piece and clearly stood out. I like her simple choice of accessories and how they complemented the dramatic dress. The entire look was such a solid slay but needed little alterations, so I'd rate this a solid 8. Next, we have Rachel Ogbonna in custom Rapunzel clothing. So she had on this gown with a beaded bodice and the skirt was draped with George. The top part had this velvet structured stuff that framed her shoulders. She styled the look with a statement gold clutch and a pair of strappy heels encrusted with crystals. So her look was quite a classic, but the structured stuff at the top part made it a bit avant-garde. I like how that stuff framed her shoulders and how the accessories provided balance. The entire ensemble was quite captivating and was also well detailed and styled. I would rate this look a 7.5. Next, we have Lizzy Gold in this ensemble by the Lawyer Girl clothing line. So she had on this orange number with an interesting bodice that featured lots of embellishments. The lower part was draped with George and lined with silk, and the look was styled with sparkly black accessories. So I like the concept of the bodice and how well they executed the bodice. I wish the skin net at the sleeves blended more with her complexion though, and I also wish the skirt was draped differently. I'm not the biggest fan of the black accessories either and how they contrasted the jewelry. Anyway, she still looked really dazzling in this piece and the color looked really flattering on her. I love the attention to detail at the bodice and how she bodied this look. I'd rate this look a solid 7. Next, we have Queen Mercy Atang serving us high fashion in custom Tiana's Empire. So she had on this intricately beaded gown with a structured neckline and sleeves encrusted with droplets at the hem. The gown had beaded fringe that cascaded from a floral detail at the waistline and gave the look more pizzazz. She styled the look with matching beaded jewelry sets and a sparkly clutch and completed the look with this black gele. So when they say the devil is in the detail, this is clearly what they mean because the details were so mesmerizing. I like what they did with the droplets and I also like her choice of jewelry as well. I feel the only thing I would have taken away from this look has to be the beaded fringe because that looked very unnecessary. I like how the look commands attention like a typical Tiana's piece. I would rate this look an 8.5. Next, we have Amarachi Mbah in this piece by Tinted Couture. So she had on this excessively detailed gown with ruffles, beads and feathers at the bodice. The lower part was lined with a black fabric and the look was styled with chunky accessories. So I sincerely do not think I've seen anything as rough as this in a while. From the color combination to the ruffles, to the feathers, to the beads, to the drapes, to the lining, everything looked rough. I don't get what the inspiration was, but I clearly see the mistakes and tacky tailoring. The hand fan looked equally messy and there's nothing about this look that's slightly decent. I'd rate this look a solid 2. Next, we have the drama herself, Destiny Etiko in custom Jaff clothing. So she had on this floor-length number that featured meticulous beadwork and structured sleeves. The gown was adorned with droplets and had a corseted bodice that cinched her waist. She styled the look with dainty jewelry and a sparkly orange clutch. So it's a typical Destiny Etiko style because she loves fitted dresses that accentuate her body with dramatic sleeves. I love the grandeur she exuded in this piece and how she devoured the look. The entire look was such a striking assemblage and I'd rate this look a solid 8 out of 10. Next, we have Queen Nwokoye in this unique outfit by Helene's Perfect Touch. So she had on this wide leg jumpsuit embellished with applique, sequins and stones. The jumpsuit was draped at the waistline to give the look more edge. She styled the look with a silver clutch and silver jewelry set and completed the look with matching heels. So I believe the look was inspired by this look by Extra Brides but had its own unique flair. I like the fact that it's quite unconventional, but I feel there's something throwing me off that I can't pinpoint. It's probably the color combo or the wide leg pants. There's just something off in my opinion. Anyway, it's not a bad look, it's a decent look, so I'd rate this look a solid 6 out of 10. Now for the couple, Ruby and Moc, they served us a couple of looks, so let's start with their pre-wedding looks. So the groom had on this three-piece assemblage by Firewall that featured crystal embellishments. The bride on the other hand opted for this beautiful white silk number with pleats at the waistline. The bodice of her dress was embellished with appliques and featured a sweetheart neckline and cold shoulders. So the bride looked really refined in this number and the groom looked good as well. I kind of wish both looks were slightly cohesive or somehow tied together. Anyway, I like how classy and polished they looked in these ensembles and how their looks were tastefully styled. I'd rate both looks a solid 8 out of 10. They also gave us these pre-wedding looks inspired by long tennis and they both had on monochromatic ensembles. So I believe this is supposed to be a cute, effortless shoot, which is nice, but not my favorite thing. I feel they could have done this tennis inspired shoot, but with more flattering pieces. They both looked very basic and plain, and this shoot was quite boring, so I'd rate this shoot a solid 5. Next, we have them in these super clean brown ensembles. So the bride had on this one sleeve dress made entirely of silk and featured an exaggerated sleeve. The gown featured embellishments at the bodice alongside an asymmetrical neckline and a flowy silhouette. She styled the look with matching diamond encrusted jewelry and completed the look with a bun. The groom on the other hand opted for this smooth two-piece set with an interesting motif. So I like how cohesive they both looked and how they opted for different hues of brown. I feel these were their best pre-wedding looks and they both looked so elegant. I would rate them both an 8.5. Now for the main trad wedding, they went regal in their custom ensembles. So the bride wore custom burial signature while the groom's assemblage was by Diddy. So I don't know how old the bride is, but if she's younger than 40, I feel this look sort of aged her. There's something about this look that made her look slightly older, but if she's over 40, then it's age appropriate. I like her choice of jewelry and clutch though, and I like the man's assemblage as well. The groom was serving typical southern groom with a kaftan and maxi skirts. I also like the idea of them going for a similar color scheme to look more coordinated. They both looked graceful in their ensembles and I'd rate them both a solid 8. Now for the bride's maiden look, she opted for this two-piece set with an off-shoulder neckline. The look was draped with red tulle that flowed to the floor and gave the look a more flamboyant flair. She styled the look with a pair of custom slippers, lots of coral beads and a horse tail. So it's the traditional Igbo maiden look with a little bit of extravaganza. I love the concept she was going for with the draped fabrics, but I don't feel the look was well executed. I feel the fabrics could have been draped better to look more fancy and appealing. I'm not the biggest fan of the entirety of this look, but she's the bride, so she gets a 7. Now for their white wedding looks, the bride had on this wedding gown by Amadiva Bridals, while the groom's look was by Firewall. So the bride opted for a traditional ball gown with lots of embellishments, and the look was paired with a voluminous veil. The groom on the other hand opted for this white and black suit set styled by Mickey Crates. His look was styled with a black bow tie, floral lapel pin, and black patent leather shoes. So they both looked very pristine and timeless, and they clearly went all out. I like the flamboyant silhouette of the bride's gown and how the groom opted for a classic. They looked really divine in these ensembles and I'd rate them both an 8.5. So we've come to an end of today's video and these were some of the interesting looks at Ruby and Moc's wedding. For my best dressed, I would have to go with Queen Mercy Atang in custom Tiana's Empire. For my worst dressed, I would have to go with this lady for obvious reasons. I would love to know your thoughts on these looks in the comments as usual. Who was your best dressed and who was your worst dressed? If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give this video a thumb up to help the algorithm push it to more audience. If you are yet to subscribe, please do not forget to subscribe as well. Shout out to all my returning subscribers. You're like the absolute best. Bye for now and see you all in my next video.